Hello Saxo fans, episode 71. It's been a little while, it's been about a month since my last episode, but there's been some good reasons for that. But first of all, in fact let me just close the bonnet because I want to show you, I had the car detailed by Ryan from Clean Image and he did a phenomenal job. Let me just show you. Basically, I'd put a cover on the car outside just temporarily, and it's a really cheap, nasty cover, and yeah, it really did a number on the paint. So it looks absolutely spot on now. It's as clean as it ever will be. So I mean, it's been sat in the garage for a few days, so it's a bit dusty again, but yeah, she looks really, really nice. Absolutely factory fresh. Right, so with that done, let's briefly talk about my gearbox and clutch woes. So if you remember, the last episode I was messing around with some hydraulic stuff. If you remember the Willwood stuff. Essentially I've had to just pull back from that now because it was leading down a path where it was going to take more effort and time to get it working, and I will come back to it. But for now, what I decided to do was just carry on with the cable arrangement, basically what I had before. So I went back after essentially 2 weeks of messing about with hydraulics, had to make some changes. So as we know, we put the different clutch cable in because I snapped the other one instantly. I had to reinforce the clutch pedal to the bulkhead. Essentially there's too much flex in that system and you bend the whole pedal box, if you want to call it that. So that was reinforced. A little bar that I got from another Sean, so thank you for that. That went in, and that's made a big difference. And then I had a gearbox issue, so yeah, I was really struggling to get any gears whatsoever. So massive thanks to Sam for stripping the box and rebuilding it and giving me back within, I think, 3 hours. So that's not his normal service. I wouldn't expect that if you're having boxes rebuilt by Sam. He doesn't normally do it in 3 hours, but obviously he's just up the road from me, so it's happy days. And then I had some clutch issues. I bent some things, I broke some things. So Helix pulled it out of the bag and rebuilt the clutch for me in an hour while I waited. Yeah, they essentially changed some parts, machined some bits, and rebuilt it and all that. So fully rebuilt clutch, still done 0 miles. But most of all, actually, the person who's helped the most and has been so helpful is Martin from Northampton Motorsport, constantly giving me, advice, things to try, things to tweak, and speaking to like TTV and Helix and talking about the problems and things like that. And I think potentially we're in the best place we can be right now. So I'm going to refit the gearbox in a moment, and hope and pray that this is the final time it goes in, because I've taken it out about 20 times. I am not exaggerating either. It has been relentless. So I'm going to throw this in the next hour, and if all's good, potentially we will be going for my first drive on the new clutch. And then we will go to Caffeine and Machine. That's the plan. Right, yeah, time to crack on with the box. If you're wondering what I'm doing with these straps, it's just so awkward underneath to lift it up. Essentially all I'm using these straps for is to lift the gearbox about this high off the floor. I can then get underneath it and push it up, but trying to lift it from your side onto you is almost impossible. So yeah, doing it with that, perfect. I don't have a crane or anything, so that works a treat. Right then team, ready for a test. Genuinely the first test. Haven't turned the key, nothing. Obviously I've tried this a lot of times, but not with this current setup and install. So first of all, let's check we've got some gears, shall we? Clutch up for now. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, fifth, reverse. That's all good. How's the clutch feel? Yeah, okay, soft-ish. Plenty of room to tweak. Now it's important to say I've put no preload on any of the release bearing. Pedals set pretty low at the moment. I really don't want to do any damage. So let's fire it up. Master key on. Ignition on. Fuel pumps on. Let's see. We're in neutral. Right, clutch down. We have a gear. Good. Second. Third. Okay, I need a little bit more preload on the clutch, I think, so I'm just going to wind a little bit more on. We'll come back and try again, but that's massive progress already. That's the first time I've been able to select gear in a month. Right, let's just pause and we'll come back. Right, we're all buttoned up, wheels are on. She is as complete as she'll ever be. So this is just going to be a reverse out onto the drive and hope it works. First time it would have left the garage under its own steam, probably this year. So, power on, ignition on, fuel pump on, here we go. Reverse. So all I'm going to do is just spin it around the estate and just check we get a few gears. So that's the first time it's moved. Let's do 2 or 3 preload adjustments. So let's have a go. Clutch bike point feels very low. I've just got to move my mirror. Right. Let's see. Reaction, there's no squeaks like it had before. It definitely doesn't rattle. Steering wheel's out. Need to sort the tracking out. Obviously I've had the suspension off several times. Yeah, bike point's a bit low at the moment, but that's okay. literally going to be the shortest test drive ever. Just want to turn it round here, back to the garage and check everything. I think when you've had everything apart so much, it's worth doing. So back we go. Well then guys, here we are, coming up to Caffeine and Machine now. So far a nice steady 40 odd mile here, pretty straightforward. Get in, get parked up. So, just before we get there, clutch has been absolutely spot on. Still a bit juddery when we're pulling away, but I think I just need to learn to be a little bit more digital with it. I'm trying to feather the clutch a little bit, and like a normal clutch in a normal car, and it doesn't quite like that so much. Don't get me wrong, it's better than my twin plate was, but it still is that juddery as you pull away. So I just need to use perhaps a little bit more throttle and come off the pedal a bit faster. But what that means on the road is you've got to prepare to be pulling away, because you are going to go. It doesn't like to crawl in traffic, you know, on and off the clutch, but you know, such is the nature of these things. So anyway, we're 2 minutes away. We will rock up, get parked up, jobs are good.
down to about 3.
I see about, fuck me, I see about fucking 20 per time. Everything else here. It's one of those ones that doesn't require
Thank you for that. All right, mate. Take care.
Give it a little blip.
We'll know it. Drive through a house.
There you go.
Oh, look at that. Perfect. Look, again, Royal Street. Wow. I love it happening online.
My favourite car.
Right, Saxo fans, we are back in the garage. So, Caffeine and Machine, Baguette Bashers meet was yesterday now. Car was faultless, no issues at all. Well, that's a small lie. My mirror fell out here. But luckily it was hanging on the cable, so I just managed to pop it back in. Anyway, so yeah, it was a great meet, really good turnout. Great to meet some of you if you went. Yeah, so I'm really pleased that the car got there and back without any faults. So I guess the question is now, what's next? Obviously it's a continuous evolution, this car. Obviously I'm always going to be doing something with it. So there's a couple of things in my mind that I want to do. So Probably the next thing is the front splitter build. Need to sort that out. Obviously the rear is basically done and looks really cool and is hopefully functional. I want to do something similar for the front. So we'll do that probably in the next episode. I'd like to update the fuel system in the back. The pump is a bit weak in there. I mean, it works, but after a sort of an hour of running, it sounds like it's struggling, it's not happy. It wasn't a new pump, so yeah, I think rather than just take the pump out and put a new one in, I want to sort of rearrange it and make some of the cables, sorry, not the cables, the lines and stuff just run a bit nicer. So we'll do that as part of like a trim update in the back as well, because obviously I put the carpet in, but it's only up to like the rear bench, so I'd like to trim the rest of it, so I've got a little plan for that. I need to repaint my rocker covers because the red paint that was on there crinkled because it got too hot because it's too thick. So I need to repaint those. I've got a little plan for a spoiler as well, but that's going to be a slightly custom job, I think, but we'll come to that. I mean, it's so low down the priority list, it doesn't, probably not going to make it on there for a few months. But yeah, and then I've got my MOT this week as well. So that's about it really. We've got things to be getting on with, things to do. Now I know obviously everything works and it's functional, I can use it when the weather's good. Yeah, I'm pleased that we're back in action. Just get through the MOT this week and we've got hopefully a sort of 6-month window of good weather and using it as much as we possibly can. Right, yeah, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave some comments and some feedback. It'd be great to hear from you, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one.